Greetings everyone, welcome to another retro review of Sonic Universe, and today we are doing issue 28 of the Silver Saga, part 4. Well, this is it, Silver vs. Enerjak, the fate of two futures at stake. Now, will Silver triumph over ultimate evil? Well, let's find out. Jani-Ca gathers her fallen comrades' bodies together and vows to restore them after she steals Enerjak's powers with the help of the Sword of Acorns and Silver the Hedgehog. Meanwhile, the battle between Silver and Enerjak begins with Enerjak all excited and stuff. So the first thing Silver does, chucks a bunch of buildings towards Enerjak, which Enerjak easily disintegrates. And, well, Enerjak responds by charging directly at Silver, but Silver redirects Enerjak away from him and have Enerjak crash into his own statue. And Silver's like, "Yeah, I take that! I messed up your statue!" And Enerjak responds, "I was quite fond of that statue." And so, Enerjak responds with the throwing by essentially ramming Angel Island directly onto Silver. Ouch! And Enerjak pretty much brings on the anger in Silver by essentially unleashing an entire army of prelates. Oh boy. So, in addition to the chaotic prelates, let's see what we got here. We have Dulcie, Monkey Kong, Jet the Hawk, Tails, Rouge, Finitivus, some kind of wolf, and Draco maybe? Shadow, Rabbit, is that Bunny or Cream? I can't tell. Sergeant Simeon, Sally, Amy Rose, and Wally the Wallaby, that guy. Oh boy, and Silver is, oh boy, so many cores, so many heroes, and that's Silver ducks. And then the prelate that was once Demo Duck approaches Silver, but Jani-Ca saves Silver's bacon. Silver's like, are you okay? You know, they used to be Mobians. And good old Jani-Ca reassures Silver that, oh, these cores feel no pain, they do not live, and such, so help me take them out. And that's exactly what Silver does. And we can see there are additional cores, such as one of good old Skunk Boy, one of Leon Da, and one of Big the Cat, and looks like good old Cutlass has been turned into one as well. Jeez. So while Jani-Ca says, "I'll deal with the prelates, you go deal with Enerjak," and well, Silver goes and wants to make sure that she'll be okay. Alright, so Silver responds having Angel Island thrown on him by taking Enerjak, dragging him across the street, throwing him all around the island and all that stuff, and then finally tossing him straight onto the island. And, oh boy, Silver, you're getting a little power mad, buddy. And even Silver starts to realize this, and he thinks, am I going to do this to the traitor? Well, Enerjak appears right behind him, and the response to all this? "I think you scuffed my helmet. How rude." Oh boy. Silver, looks like you're clearly outmatched. Okay, Silver. Well, you had a good run there, buddy. I mean, with Enerjak, with all this chaos power directly towards you, I mean, even your psychic power can hold you for so long. But then Silver starts to get an epiphany. A message from his two mentors, well, memories of his two mentors, of explaining about how power corrupts, how the only thing more powerful than chaos power is more chaos power, and use your head other than tossing things around. And that's when Silver realizes that he's been fighting Enerjak the wrong way. He's been thinking like a megalomaniac. He's been trying to do the whole Dragon Ball Z style fighting, trading punches here and there, pow, pow, pow. That is not how he's going to win, and he realizes this. So he's going to change his strategy. He's going to pretty much gather Enerjak's Chaos Energy and redirect it right back at him. And it's super effective. So how does, Enerjak respond? Shoots more Chaos Energy at Silver, gloating that I defeated Supersonic. And Silver's like, yeah, that whole thing, I'm not playing that anymore. It tosses the Chaos Energy back at Enerjak again. Yes, Enerjak is actually feeling pain for once. So what does Enerjak do? Release more Chaos Energy in the form of arrows. Really? Oh boy, and once again, Silver redirects that energy directly at Enerjak, causing him even more pain. Oh boy, so we have gone into essentially a video game boss mode. A cliche video game boss mode where redirecting an enemy's attacks will hurt the enemy. Case in point, good old Iblis here from Sonic 06 sometimes uses big old molten rocks, and Silver just catches it and redirects it back at him. And it hurts him even though Iblis here is made of molten rock. But hey, whatever works. Well, so Silver's like, you're gonna pay for all the damage you caused. And it's not too late to change your ways. And Enerjak's response, and look at the damage he has taken. Ouch. The only mistake I've made was to not crush you sooner, and look at that. His faceplate is damaged, and yes, folks, that red spot on his glove, that's blood. And wow, yes, that is blood. Now, you could argue that it's a tear in the glove, but look at the shading of the red on the glove and the red on the dreadlock. Yeah, that's blood, folks. It's like, wow, actual blood in this comic. Yeah, this comic is dark, but still, this Enerjak keeps tossing Chaos Blasts directly at Silver and redirects them right back at him. But then again, this Enerjak is made up of Knuckles, and he's been known to be an idiot from time to time.
Shut up!
At least Enerjak here is smart enough to change his strategy and starts lunging towards Silver, only to be stopped by Jani-Ca and the Sword of Acorns. And at this point, it is time to take away the power. And by doing so, she recites Tikal's prayer. You know, the servers were the 7 chaos, chaos's power enriched by the heart, and so on and so forth. And after the prayer, there's this blinding flash of pink light, and Silver's like, oh crud, and why is he so nervous? Yeah, looks like we have a new Enerjak on the block, and did we just create a new bad guy here? Well, from the looks of it, no. Looks like Jani-Ca still retains her, her sense of self, at least. And she honestly did not expect this to happen, to become Enerjak. Well, it's good for her because now she has the power of the cores and she can restore everybody now. Hooray? Oh, yeah, the former Enerjak. The one who has now been reduced to a withered old man. Basically, he says, oh, thank you. That power was evil. I'd feel so much better. But I think you took a little too much. Please, from father to daughter, can I have a little power to get back on track? Not too much, just a little bit. Come on, I need some, man. I need a little. Man, he is a drug addict. So, will Jani-Ca do the right thing? Will she give her father some power? Nope. Hey, I understand. I mean, living under the shadow of this guy is like, whew. So, well, she has so much power now, she's going to help start restoring the world. And she offers to help Silver restore his world as well. Silver then declines, saying that, well, you have your own world to tend to, and I still have to figure out what's wrong with mine. And with these words, Silver pulls out his time stone and warps back to his world. And we cut back to just as Silver left Edmund, and 1 second later, poof, he's back. You gotta love time travel that way because you can arrive just as you leave. That's so cool. So, Silver's all back. He's happy to be back in his crappy future after being through that horrible experience. And he goes up to Guardian Edmund saying, if you're free tomorrow, I still have a lot to learn and worlds to save. And the last page of this issue is actually a teaser for the next arc. We have good old Sonic the Zone Cop and Zector the Zone Cop transporting prisoners to jail. And Sonic is mentioning that there's something going wrong with the Prime Zone, but first he will have to deliver these prisoners and warn the warden about these new arrivals. While in the yard, a familiar evil green hedgehog watches. Overall, I like this issue because Silver won the day not by using Dragon Ball Z-like tactics. He used his head, he redirected the chaos energy directly at Enerjak. And, well, Enerjak, you kind of brought this on yourself because you saw Silver as a unique object, a new toy. And now this toy is actually hurting you. So it's not fun anymore, isn't it? Isn't it? You brought this on yourself, buddy. You did. Now, speaking of Enerjak, I believe this is the first female Enerjak we have seen in any form in the comics. And that was a shocker to me. And even Jani-Ca was surprised that she was turned into Enerjak. Hey, as long as she remains herself, she should be fine, right? I mean, she won't get corrupted. And here's the sad thing about it, folks. This will be the last time, as far as we know, that we will see this future. Now, on the Archie blogs, I don't know if they're still posted, Ian Flynn has written some epilogues, as it were, to this saga, showing Jani-Ca in her attempt to try to restore the course to their owners, with the former Enerjak guiding her, quote unquote. And we don't know if she'll succeed or not, so it's kind of sad that we will not get back into this future. But remember, this is Silver's arc, and Silver is a Sega character. Oh well. But still, it was a fun arc, but a dark arc too. Now, you're probably wondering how come this Enerjak, or Knuckles, is essentially now an old man, while this is roughly the 30 years later, the same 30 years later as in Mobius 30 years later. And in that timeline, well, Knuckles is essentially still good looking. Now, why is that? Well, the thing is, you know the Sword of Acorns? Well, it's essentially not only takes away power, but it takes away some of your life force as well. Now, when you go back to way back in Knuckles issue 9, Mammoth Mogul used the Sword of Acorns on Dimitri's version of Enerjak, and by stealing his power, Dimitri started to age rapidly. Now, granted, Dimitri was centuries old, and without the Enerjak power to sustain him, he rapidly aged. So it could be partially that, and partially due to the Sword of Acorns influence that, well, he aged. The same thing could be said for this form of Knuckles. Alright, so even though Tracy Yardley does the art in all 4 issues, I think it works better here in this entire arc because, the colors are done by Steve Downer, and And I like it a lot because, well, it really conveys the darkness of the arc, how, well, dark, bleak, desperate it is, and I like that a lot. It gives a feeling of hopelessness, well, until Silver shows up, that is. So, overall, I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to it's a nice little conclusion to Silver's arc. So, with that, I have finished the complete Sonic Universe arc, and, well, with that said, I'll see you next time, folks.